All right, good evening. My name is Tahir Crashy. I'm on Tahir's Realty Coffee Talk. Joining me is Ken Finch, FRI, a CPM, member of Real Estate Institute of Canada. Welcome, Ken. How are you?
Hi, Tahir. I am fantastic, as good as I can be. Not much action out there today. I've got, a family that I'm staying home with. So there's still, a lot to do. But, we're just hanging in there and staying safe.
Yes, the top burning issue for us is buying and selling homes. So how's everything? I know you are in Oakville. How's everything going there?
So the market has slowed down quite a bit. There really isn't much activity right now. There's still a fair amount of listings, but the buyers have dropped off considerably. So it's a tough time to sell right now. Definitely a buyer's market.
Yeah, well, it's very true because everything is on hold. People have lots of challenges right now to arrange deferral payment. And today I did that too. I went on my bank and I very surprised that it was so simple to delay the payment. I just want to share with our audience that when you do the deferral payment for mortgage, that means you will still be paying tax, the interest, but the equity portion of that will be delayed. So this is what I have learned today. So I thought I will share with everyone. Have you done anything? I'm sure you might have a lot of money, so you didn't have to do that. I just did it for experimental purposes.
So yes, no, it's a good feature that's available. And a lot of banks, they've included this feature, before this pandemic was around. So different banks have different rules. You can defer, you can defer a month at any time. Others, have set up something specifically for for this virus and to extend 6 months, I believe. So yeah, it all depends on which bank your mortgage is on.
Just to experiment that, I went there to my bank with CIBC, and my accounting manager called me, and she was very nice. And then we went to online, and they give you all the credit, business line of credit, mortgages, visas, everything. And they will ask you the option that you choose the product, and they'll ask you how many months, from 1 month to 6 months, they have an option that you can choose from. And they will allow you, they will get back to you in, I would say, 3 to 6 days, whether your request is approved or not. So if you are applying for deferral payment for your visa, line of credit, or mortgage, you should make sure that you pay them, because until they approve you. Once they approve you, then it will not show up on your credit report, Equifax. So this is what I want to share with everyone. Um, and go to your bank. If you do online banking, this is the best way of doing it. As you know, I have a brokerage, and I set up some guidelines for showing the property, and our goal is to remotely provide as much information possible and to potential buyer. Is your brokerage has any arrangement done with your client, or you as a broker have done anything, how you view the properties, because you're also property manager, and if requests are coming in for rental or other activities, what are you doing?
Yes, different options now. With the Toronto Real Estate Board just started an initiative in regards to virtual open houses, because Toronto Real Estate Board blocked any listings for open houses. Like, they don't let you promote an open house because they want to stop the, they want to promote physical distancing. So. Yes. So they're promoting virtual open houses, and one open house that is available through, I believe it'll go to realtor.ca. You can, the realtor can go to the property, live video, take questions and answers, the website right from online. So that's a way to host open houses right now, through video, photos, and just remotely.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that I had a client. I am doing some sales on new construction where only thing we have is the land because, when you go buy the property from a builder, they have a conceptual plans and they give you the survey and they give you the feature list and also they give you the layout of the floor plan, which is a artistic conception. And that's why I'm a little bit focused on providing information too. I think I did send you as well on one of my luxury detached homes that I share with you.
Yeah, so exactly. There's still inventory. It might be a little bit more difficult to get anything developed right now,
Yeah.
but it's there's still properties out there. Some people are forced to do a transaction now. They've either sold fairly recently. Some people sell and have a 60, 90 plus day closing. So people that have sold are looking to buy. So there are still people out there.
Yeah, we know that based on the Korea report in March that there were 60,000 transactions took place across Canada. And obviously there are buyer and sellers, so we assume 120,000 and they will be seeking out help from legal counsel, the realtors, and to close those deals. Uh, Definitely they are in a predicament impacted by this coronavirus epidemic, and hopefully they will be able to close them. And we're hoping that under this extreme condition, everybody going to cooperate with each other and make things happen. Because it has to be a win-win situation for our buyer and seller.
Yeah, definitely. I've got some stats from my office. They've got 1.33 months of inventory. So, there isn't much inventory, but, there are even less buyers right now. So
Yeah.
that's why it's, I believe it's the buyer's market. But, year to date, we are up 14.8% for the average sale price. And that's in the whole GTA. So $890,822 is the average sale price. So, and that's up quite a bit. We'll see, what the percentage changes within the next months, depending on how long this pandemic is going to linger around. But, we started off with a healthy year, so we'll see what happens, going forward.
I know a year started very, very great and tremendous potential. Price went up in February was really very, very strong sale. Of course, March is impacted. Did you get the report from TRAB or about the March figures?
Yes, well, I've got them from my office, Royal Page Signature, which is they pulled the stats from TREB, and the number of sales were also up to they're 20,000 almost for the month of March, and that's up 22.5%. So a really strong first quarter definitely for real estate in the GTA.
Yeah. Yeah, it will be surprising to see how our second quarter is impacted in buying and selling homes. I personally feel that this is the toughest quarter that we're going to face in real estate. There are smaller level of transactions going on, and we'll continue to do that. I have also a closing in June, but the real impact started when people started laying off, and the panic started with the federal government injecting a stimulation package for over $105 billion plus more. And I think this all initiated by the government is creating environment. So it is good that you're sharing that information. So that's great.
Yeah, I was just trying
I'm
to,
very positive. I'm very positive that we will have starting in the third quarter. We're going to starting a turnaround.
yeah, no, definitely. Yeah. So I'm just playing around with some different features here
Yeah,
on
that's good. Good.
webinars.
Yeah, you
I'm
can
trying to
share
pull up
that.
stats.
Yeah. So now I am hoping that people who have bought the properties, they don't need to get panic. They need to hold on to their properties because we are seeing projection is that third quarter we will start going very recovery, and fourth quarter will be a very strong rebound of the real estate. So we're going to talk about that in our discussion today. But the challenge that I feel is that Ontario government, yeah, okay. You want to talk about that?
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Well, I thought it was still on your screen there. Sorry. So I was just
No, it just came
up.
in.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, no, just yeah, I just wanted to highlight how good 2020 was because as you can see from this chart, it dates back to 2016 and 2017. We saw the peak in the market, and in February of this year, we almost matched the highest average sale price in the GTA. It dropped slightly in March, but you know, we'll
Yeah.
see what
Look,
happens. It's
look at those prices in February. It passed our average over 500,000 for average price.
yes,
And
I
then it
know
came
it's
back. It was over 900,000, and then it came back to 900,000 in March. So that's still very strong.
yeah, no, definitely a good market. You know, this is you know, you know, quite a few people I've been talking to over the years. I've been, you know, waiting for a bubble to burst, but I still don't really see that happening because the Toronto and the, you know, the entire GTHA, you know, from Hamilton over to Oshawa, you know, up past Newmarket, there's just a demand for housing. There's a shortage for supply. You know, the government has so, you know, I can see the price dropping slightly, but I don't think we're going to have any type of crash.
Yeah. Now, as you know, the Ontario government has stopped new construction. So we can close this one.
Yes.
Can you? Okay. So the government has stopped that the construction for residential houses because of coronavirus. I do not know what is expected now. This definitely going to have impact on availability of resale new properties in later part of the year.
Yeah, no, definitely.
So what do you think that we're going to have a multiple offer situation again in third quarter or fourth quarter?
Well, the multiple offers, you know, were extremely big back in you know, 2017 and beyond. There's still, it depends. It depends if the you know, if the property is pretty much turnkey move-in ready, then you know, that's still the strategy for a lot of realtors to do the an offer holdback where, you know, they list the property on a Tuesday, accepting offers not until say the following Monday, and you know, that creates an artificial bidding war basically.
Yeah.
So you know, I can still see that happening because just you know, when a, you know, house is completely renovated and, you know, in a premium area, there's, you know, several pockets in Toronto and the surrounding areas where you know, people really want to get into. So I can still see bidding wars and multiple offers continuing, you
The
know, throughout
issue,
the year.
yeah, the issue is that we already struggling with the supply, and I am sure this coronavirus impact has kind of balanced the market now. It's not going to go maybe too high, but if we have a shortage of new house coming in, we don't know that what impact we will have on the immigrant because they're keeping our real estate economy moving forward. So government has a plan for 1 million immigrants to come this year. So I don't know, this whole thing has been impacted and they have to spend billions of dollars to stimulate the economy. So if the construction has been delayed and and things go back to normal, I'm predicting that we're going to have a multiple offer situation depending on the value. Maybe not as much as on a multi-million dollar houses, but anything below $1 million, it will be a very competitive market.
Yes, no, I agree. The development, can't really speed up too much, no matter how much demand there is or how much of a delay there's been. So yeah, that's we're going to see problems. And you're right. Anything below $1 million is, pretty much any. The prices for starter homes. You don't even see, detached or semi-detached in the Toronto area for under $1 million. So the condo market is, going to continue strong as well, definitely.
Yeah, condo and also townhome. Like I said, that I can estimate it that people who are in a condominium with a small family, like one or two child, they're planning to move out from condominium to go to a condo or townhome or semi. So price range for condominium and freehold townhome or freehold townhome with a parcel of title land POTL, they were ranging from 650 to almost 800,000. So I think the federal government is now relaxing a little bit on the criteria for stress tests and qualify them. And plus, the biggest problem that we have now, especially for buyer or even for the seller, is the credit worthiness because of unemployment.
Yeah, that's going to be a big problem.
Big problem.
So yeah, we might get some foreclosures, power of sales, some upset to the market, but typically the banks can't give away the properties. They have to sell at fair market value. So there will be a little bit of supply added to the market from people that are forced to sell, but yeah, no, it's still going to be it's going to be a seller's market, I'd say fairly soon after this is over.
Like clothing, food, and shelter, these are the essential things for human to survive and live and enjoy a family life. So whether you are renting it and you are paying so much rent because rent has gone up, and or you are buying a house because when you buy a house you build equity, you start building your profile and financial net, which will give you a gain because a mortgage 30 35 to 40% of that mortgage payment is part of the equity. So if you build your equity and then market change, and for the last 15 years I've been in the real estate, the price has never gone down. It has almost double or even gone more than the double last 15 years. And I do not think that the price will go down at all. It may slow down and halt for a short time until it picks up the momentum again. So
Yeah,
now,
I've got another chart we can just take a quick
please
look
put
at
up
here.
there.
So just because to prove your point here, we've got average sale price from 2015 until 2020, and started out at $613, going up in 2016, 2017, $915,000, Then we had a drop in 2018, April 20th of what was it? The previous year, we had the Fair Housing Plan, the Ontario Fair Housing Plan kick in, which saw a little bit of a correction, and then they've just continued to go up from there. With 2020, over $900,000. So yeah, no, I
Yeah,
agree. There's an upward trend
it's
in
arbitrary. But
ETA.
look at this. In 2015, our sale has gone up. Our active listing has reduced, as you can see. Average price, for example, 2015 was 8,887, and today in 2020 we have 8,012. So they're slightly down, but they are higher than as compared to 2019, 7,132, and now the sale price. Let's compare 19 and 20. Say listing, we had a 15,576 listing in 2019 on TREB. Now there are 10,676. So it gone down considerably.
Yeah, it's
And
about
then
a third that we're down.
an average price in 2019 for the house was 788,133, and now is in March was 902,680. So you can see that 2017 average price was 915,126, and now we are at 902,860. So it's climbing. And if we didn't have this recession environment, coronavirus, we have easily climbed that average.
Yeah, no, definitely. So it's it's an interesting time now.
Yeah,
To see what will happen with this change in the market. People are trapped in their homes. Some people were thinking of buying. I have a lot of people that were ready to buy or to sell, and obviously people are just holding tight right now because it's such a unique time period that if you sell your house, you don't really want people coming in and walking through your home, and as well, people don't want to go into homes that they don't know the status of the people selling. So it's everyone is pretty much waiting. If you can wait, that's what's recommended.
Yeah, this is what I was saying in my previous broadcast, that my brokerage, we set up policy and procedures for the sellers to follow, and also for the buyers. And if they want to see any of our properties, they have to sign a declaration. And we have certain declaration to make sure that when they are showing our property, they are certifying that nobody is sick, nobody has been sick. If they've been quarantined, they have went through the quarantine process, and all the sellers going to leave the door opens and keep the lights on. Only thing the cooperating broker has to do is to open the lockbox and make sure they clean it, and then go to the door. That's the only door they will open, and they will close it, and the seller will come and clean that, turn off the lights and everything. So not to touch anything in the house. So we have instructions and policy we set up for our brokerage, and we are encouraging to wait for new listing. We have a couple listing that we kind of cancel them because concerned they have a small children in the house and elderly people. So we decided that it's best not to have that fear in mind that somebody bring some kind of virus to the house. So we canceled this thing, and we kept some listing which are not occupied. That means it's accessibility is easier when it's not occupied.
Yeah, definitely. Vacant properties are, a lot easier to deal with right now. And, today is April 6th. And, I have a good friend that works in the emergency ward of the hospital in Ontario. And she said that this week is critical for everyone to, go out as little as possible. She's saying, don't even go to the grocery store, just try and deal with it at home, because from people going away over the March break, this is 2 weeks after that, and this can be the worst time. So they know from the history, from what's happened in China and Italy, that this week, specifically this week, is the most important time to stay home to stop the spread of the virus.
No, absolutely. My son is and his wife both are doctors in New York States, and they were short of some masks. So my wife built masks for them, and I ordered their special N95, those filters, and we ship it to them. They should have gotten it today, and they are telling me they are not to go out, not to stay home, and they are right on the front line dealing with people. Some people are dying in front of their eyes, so it's very, very serious situation. And I think if we can keep the social distance, that's the best thing to do. But if they have absolutely necessary to sell their house because of their commitment, then all brokerage has make specific arrangement to do the showing and make sure that the houses are clean and they are, prepared for eventual showing for a short period of time. We decided that if we do have to show, we show for 30 minutes and we do all the precaution recommended by Health Canada and follow all the rules and regulation to the minimize. And we're trying to sharing virtual tools, floor plans, and documents that we have to make sure that they cooperate with us. So I'm very sure that you will be doing the same thing.
Yeah, no, definitely. You have to any viewings. You have to travel to the properties in separate vehicles. Obviously keep your distance. At least 2 meters away from everyone. So it's it's a challenge, definitely. But we've got to we've got to stop the spread. So it's important to follow the rules. In Oakville, I'm not sure about Toronto or other areas, but Oakville has implemented some new bylaws for if you're not physically distancing yourself, or found in a group of people, not including the people that your immediate family you're living with, there's a $750 fine up to about a $50,000 fine, and they said that there's I believe $250 administration charge if for your first offense. They may not give you the full fine, the minimum 750, but they said they'll absolutely be giving the admin charge, and that's probably because they don't. It's putting the police at risk or the bylaw officers. So yeah, no, it's just it's important, and these new bylaws, they definitely show how serious everything has become.
Our mayor of Mississauga, Bonnie Crombie, has put out a speech that same fine $750, and they stop going to the park, community center, and gathering of five and more. Prohibit them because it's a safety issue. Is unprecedented. Never heard happen again. I was watching a show in which. Bill Gates was giving a speech about the coronavirus. He says, the more we keep the distance and isolate ourselves for a short period of time, and they can control the spread if we keep the distance, because if you stay away for 2 weeks or more, then it is not extending to the beyond the people who already been subjected to this virus. And if those people are treated, we will control the pandemic. But if the chain continues, and that's where the problem is. and it's going to affect all the industries. People who are, all of us out of the job, cannot make money and do business. We can't go out and enjoy it. So we all have to face the reality. This is the new norms now, and we have to invent new ways remotely doing our business, and hopefully we'll defeat this devil and we get back to normal.
Yeah, no, definitely, definitely. So now time like for careers, it's a time to either spend with your family, work on your just work on your website, work on your marketing plan, work on your business plan. So it's still a lot to do, definitely for myself. I'm busier than ever. I have two young children, 9 years old and 5 years old. So with no school, no daycare, no uh, sitters available. I can't even take them to visit my parents. So yeah, no, that's more than a full-time job on its own. And my wife is full-time from home as well. So it's definitely a busy time. But
Yeah,
just gotta do it.
it's an opportunity to spend quality family time. I know as a real estate professional, on the weekend when we really want to celebrate with the family, go barbecue, we end up doing our businesses and open houses, right? So this is the time to to enjoy it. Plus, also thinking about your education. I'm doing the EMD course you and me were doing, and building more skills, learning a new way of using technology, remotely connecting with people, following up, and helping people. And as you know, I opened my mortgage brokerage, Mortgage Express Canada Inc., and we have almost set up the website now. We are fully equipped to provide mortgage services to anyone. I'm a licensed broker and a principal broker in this case. And because reason I talk about the credit worthiness and unemployment, because when you are even looking to buy a property, you have no job now. And if you have already committed or you are in the process of getting a mortgage, there are critical element involved. Number two, those people who have already mortgaged are doing their deferral arrangement, or they have lost their job and they can't, and they need to have some sort of refinancing. The creditworthiness will come into picture to make sure that you have not defaulted. What I am learning from the system is that unless you are approved for deferral payment, you should be paying your mortgage, all line of credits, all your visas. If you do not do that, then you will be falling into a trap where default will come into play, and then you apply for your deferral. Is going to be a big challenge. So
Yeah,
this is
definitely. You can't get behind the eight ball there. You've got to keep on top of it. Just communication is the key. Just talk with your lender. If you need to defer a payment, then just keep the lines of communication open, and don't stop paying until you have the approvals, as Tahir's already mentioned. And so Tahir, that's fantastic. You're completely full service here. You've got your own. You've launched a mortgage brokerage during this pandemic. So yeah, congratulations on that as well.
thank you very much, Ken. For our viewer, we are going to be live on Wednesday at 8 p.m. and Mississauga Real Estate Board President Aisha Singh will join us and tell us what Mississauga Real Estate Board, which is my home board, is doing for realtors and what service they are providing. And they are there to support you during this pandemic and tough time. And this will be good news. So if you have any questions regarding real estate, or any real estate broker who's a member of Mississauga Real Estate Board, or anyone, as you know, we have not only TREB MLS, Mississauga Real Estate Board has its own MLS system, which we have multiple board have joined to have a very cohesive and very detailed MLS system for realtors to help. So if you are a realtor watching the program, stay tuned for Wednesday at 8 p.m. And I thank you, Ken Finch. He's a fellow Real Estate Institute of Canada. He's also a certified property manager, CPM. And we are both working with the Real Estate Institute of Canada, Toronto chapter. I'm a board director there. And also I'm board director of Mississauga Real Estate Board. I thank you very much for joining, and I hope that our audience have learned something through this broadcast. If you have any specific questions, please call. Our next Awaz Television Realty Coffee Talk is on 8 April at 7 p.m. And how to protect the home ownership. That is the topic, and we will have a brilliant panelist coming to join me, and we'll have a conversation with you. And I thank you very much, Ken, for joining, and I wish everybody a safe, remain protected. We all are there to help isolated at home, but we're continuing to do the public service to all of you. So I wish all friend, family, all Canadians across Canada, around the world, be safe, and God bless you. God bless Canada. Thank you very much for watching.
Thank you so much, Tahir, for having me as a guest, and I'll definitely tune in to your Coffee Talk television show on Thursday. All the best.
Thank you very much. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.